G'day viewers and welcome to a weekend edition of TFU. I held over making this for a little while in the hope that Aussie would be able to come over, but turns out he's not actually well enough, so going solo, so we'll just be thinking of Aussie. Yes, no, don't think too hard, because if I know Aussie, if you really think of what he's doing, it involves not many clothes and stuff that will get you arrested in most places. So don't think too hard, just think a little bit about Aussie. But beyond Aussie, other things that were fucked up this week. Well, hey, living in Australia, we have one of those little clocks that's like days without weird racist incident that people then rush to say isn't racist. And it very rarely gets beyond like 2 or 3 days, quite honestly, till something else comes up. There was an interesting one. It was a couple of weeks ago now. A mother blacked up her son for Book Week, and it was to look like a footballer. And first, I don't know why you're dressing up as a footballer for Book Week, but the kid did, and the mother did the blackface on him. And not only does she not understand it's racist, when she posted it, it was this huge, "This is brilliant, I'm so wonderful, it's such a proud moment." I don't understand how people can be that removed from reality. Like, no, he just wants to be like his idol. Like, if he idolizes the black sports person, musician, whatever, whoever you are, if you think, I want to pay tribute to this person of color because I really admire them, then maybe don't indulge in a pastime that's been used as racist abuse for over 100 years, okay? You and your intentions don't count for shit when the actual reality is blackface was used to insult and abuse black people. And you're playing into that and making light of a history of deep racism, okay? You need to get a fucking clue. Like, I'm not saying this person is deeply racist because I don't know them, but I am saying they're deeply ignorant because they show that quite clearly, as does anyone else who defends blackface. It doesn't exist in isolation, okay? It has a really long history. And anyway, when this happened, one of various satirical websites had a bit of a laugh and did an article about, boy dresses up as Hitler for Book Week. People say it's not bad taste or racist. That was intended to be satirical. I'd like you to guess what actually happened this week in Australia. Now, if Aussie was here, he'd be doing some thinking music for you right now. But I don't think you need a lot of it, considering the build-up to it. Yes, no, it actually happened. This happened in Darwin. A kid went to school for Book Week, dressed up as Hitler because Mein Kampf is his favourite book. And Jesus, there's a lot to unpack there. And this was actually with the endorsement of the school, by the way. They knew he was going to dress up as Hitler. His family knew he was going to dress up as Hitler. The topper was they were being visited by students from a Jewish school in Melbourne that week. That's right. To cheer up the Jewish students, someone came to school dressed as Hitler. I have such a lot of trouble with doing that while the Jewish kids. Now, here's the thing I want to say. People say, how can they do that? Like, particularly when kids choose to do something, and by kids I mean up to, young adults, high school kids, choose to do something that from the outside looks fucking stupid, and, quite racist and offensive. Like, first, the kids doing it are not always racist and awful people, okay? First, when you're young, you're fucking stupid, okay? I hate to break it to you because I also remember when I was young thinking you're smart and old people are dumb and boring. You're stupid, okay? You'll get better, hopefully. Most people do, not all, but you'll realise, and it doesn't take long when you're out of school, at the most mid-20s to maybe 30, you'll look back and go, oh my God, I was an idiot. And that's okay. It's part of growing up. And I have a problem with people who won't let kids fuck up, who won't let kids grow up. Like, the idea that you have to vilify and abuse and send death threats to people who do things like this is just ridiculous. By all means, publicly say, hey, this is unacceptable, this is bullshit, and if people trying to defend it, point out that is fucking just not on. But the idea of viciously attacking people and trying to ruin their lives is ridiculous. Oh, and spare me, anyone who's on the right going, yes, it's political correctness gone mad. Get fucked, okay? You're as guilty. There's all this stuff about, oh, political correctness, that's the end of the world. Fuck off. People on the right go just as apeshit over that. Like that footballer in America who wouldn't stand up for the national anthem. Do you think the people losing their shit over that were social justice warriors? No. Everyone has things that push their buttons and they lose a bit over. Don't pretend you don't, because you're a lying fucking hypocrite. And that's the one thing that I dislike more than bigots and racists. Hypocritical bigots and racists who won't admit to what they are and what they're doing and what their own weaknesses are. It's real easy to point at someone else and say, that's where they're wrong. It can be a little bit harder to look honestly at yourself and say, oh, that's where I was wrong. And look, honestly, having said all that, full disclosure, for my last day of high school, what we call muck-up day in Australia, I ran the final assembly dressed as Hitler. I'm not joking. I'm not making that up. And people who paid close attention to my channel will know I've admitted to this before. That is a real thing I did. I dressed as Hitler. Now immediately people go, what the fuck? Why would you do that? Because I was stupid and ignorant, like dictionary definition ignorant. I hadn't really studied history. Like, yes, I knew what Hitler did. I knew he was the bad guy in World War II. But, I was a teenager being provocative. And I didn't know any Jewish people. I grew up in the country, okay? There was so little variation in the people where I grew up. But this is not an excuse, by the way, but it's the reality of it. Why did I do it? Because I was pretty fucking ignorant. We would go around, when you're a teenager, and honestly, when you're an adult too, you make dead baby jokes. It's like when something awful happens, if you're anything like me and my friends, you try to be the first one to make an incredibly tasteless joke about it, okay? And in with your friends, that's fine. But if you do it publicly and then get shocked that people arc up about it, I mean, what is wrong with you? Oh, like there was another example. Speaking of fucked up, it's like the anniversary of 9/11 in the States, and a mattress shop decided they'd have a 9/11 sale, which was bad enough. It's like, no, let's not cash in on something like that, okay? You don't have Pearl Harbor sales, you don't have Holocaust sales, you don't have 9/11 sales. It's a bad idea, and I'm amazed people would have to be told that. But they made a little ad, and I don't think it went on TV, I think it was on their Facebook page, on their website maybe, where they actually had 2 towers of mattresses, and the store manager pushed 2 salespeople over who fell into the towers and knocked them down. I am not fucking kidding. They did that. 9/11 sale with twin towers of mattresses, which they knocked down. Who the fuck thinks that's a good idea? Personally, I'm not into treating the September 11th attacks like there's some sort of holy, untouchable thing. It was an awful, terrible thing that happened. But I'm not an idiot, and I know something like that is going to end up badly. I don't see how someone could imagine anything but an awful outcome from that. And apparently the shop's at least temporarily, if not permanently, shut down now because they were getting death threats. People were saying they're going to come around and burn the shop down. And this is, I don't understand. Why do people rush to death threats and you deserve something horrible? Point out when someone's a fuckwit. Point out when someone's obnoxious and offensive. You don't have to actually threaten them, their families, their business. You don't have to try and destroy someone. You could have a fucking conversation about the topic. It's just, why do people jump to this so quickly? And no political persuasion can claim innocence in that. Like I said, the 9/11 one, that was mainly conservative people who rushed to say, kill, kill, kill. When you get people like who are bigots or, you know, rapists, like the Stanford rapist, who's now got people with guns outside his house. That's fucked up. That's not a good way to respond. That doesn't help anyone. Why the fuck do people have to go to such extreme lunacy instead of trying to have discourse and work things out? I really don't get that, and I'll never understand why people can't have conversation. Look, and you're like, but you have conversations, you shouldn't swear. Look, first, I'm doing the ranty stuff for entertainment, okay? And I try to be as level as I can, but you can't allow for everything when you're just doing a little rant, okay? But I don't fucking charge off and say I want to kill someone or that person deserves to die. That is just some absolutely ridiculous bullshit. Look, I want to finish with something. It's a bit lighter. Still fucked up though. There was an article published this week with the rather clickbaity headline of "Why I'll Never Date a Feminist." Now, if you're like me, when you see something like that, you immediately get a mental image of the sort of person who would write such a thing. And thankfully, there was an author photo provided, and it's this, and I'm, oh, come on, dude! Come on! How could you not know how people were going to respond? I mean, okay, I am very against judging people based on appearance, arguably for obvious reasons. But it's just lazy. It's like, if you have a problem with someone's actions, ideology, or behavior, and you choose to make a personal attack on them, that shows weakness in you, not them. It's like with Australian politics. Awful people I dislike, like Gina Reinhardt or fucking Queensland politician George Christensen. They both happen to be what you'd politely call morbidly obese, like they're at the extreme end of the spectrum. But that's not why I pick on them. I pick on them for what horrible people they are. But, like, you know, this dude publishing "Why I'll Never Date a Feminist." Dude, you don't have a choice in the matter, okay? And again, for the anti-feminists, the MRAs, the PUAs, the MGTOWs, the various mutated fuckwits who push this line, who seem to genuinely not get it, even if you are conventionally attractive, even if you're super hot, you publish something, "Why I'll Never Date a Feminist," with this ridiculous, tired old horse shit, there is not a single feminist in the world who's losing sleep over it, okay? In fact, the collective sigh of relief when this thing was published was so loud, it was mistaken for a nuclear test in North Korea, okay? Dude, when you say you don't want to date a feminist, they don't want to date you. And that's kind of, it's like a feminist publishing "Why I'll Never Date an MRA." What? And that probably exists somewhere. I don't know. But what would be the fucking point? Because it's not gonna happen, is it? Secret, no matter, like 99% of blokes, no matter what they say about, oh, feminism, if someone's gonna put out, they'll be there, okay? That's a slight difference, quite honestly. But, okay, and I thought, okay, maybe this is some meta trolling. This guy knew what would happen if he published this horseshit with he's ugly, okay? And you can call me ugly, I don't mind. But objectively, this guy is unattractive. That doesn't mean he doesn't deserve love. That doesn't mean he'll never find anyone. As most guys know who aren't complete assholes, if you stop being a complete asshole, you'll get somewhere with someone, okay? You'll find someone if you're just not a complete prick. This guy is uglier on the inside than he is on the outside. And that's where the real problem is, the lack of self-awareness. I saw a follow-up interview with him, because this was just published in some tiny newspaper's website, and it just exploded. And he didn't back down at all. I thought maybe he would do this meta thing of, oh look, I deliberately did it to show people. And no, he just thinks it was a legitimate thing to say. It's like, pull your fucking head in, mate. The thing that stops you dating feminists is not your choice. It's not even your looks. The thing that stops you from dating feminists, and I would warrant anyone, is how fucking awful you are. And until you can work stuff like that out, your life will always be totally fucked up. Hope you enjoyed that. I upload regularly, so make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, so you don't miss out. And if you like what I do and want to help me out, best thing you can do, share on social media. Tell your friends what they're missing out of. And hey, check my links below and you can follow me on social media as well. I've got a huge back catalogue, so stay around. There's plenty more to watch. Here's a couple of suggestions.